Okay, so here's my... Okay. Oh, wait, I forgot to start. Aloha, everyone. So, I will be talking about my thoughts on Mickey Mouse's House of Villains. Oh, is that House of Mouse? I can't remember. Anyway, the movie is basically about Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are like having this Halloween party. They have all the villains, they have all the heroes, they have everybody pretty much there. And so basically they have this screen that everybody's watching that I don't know if Mickey Mouse is like operating or he made or whatever, but basically there was different scenes with different characters. Like, this is gonna have a lot of stuff from the movie, but there was like one story where I believe it was Goofy. He was being taught how to use some kind of magical wand on a flower to make it open, and he didn't get it right, and they got captured by a child or somebody who basically was gonna use them as like bug collection or something, and or kill them. So, and they were kind of bugs because they had wings, by the way. And there was like this huge, like almost like sounding like Tchaikovsky, whatever his name is, Tchaikovsky, songs, like composed things with the music for that scene. And they did escape, and then there was, I don't remember what's next. I don't think I'm doing this in order either. I think that Mickey Mouse might have been first, but it was Mickey Mouse, and there was some kind of thing that he woke up to, and the lights were going off or something. I can't remember. But and somehow his house got completely destroyed, and then he finds this other house at the end. And then there was this other story where basically Goofy dies and becomes a ghost because he walked out in the middle of the road apparently, and a car hit him. That's how it became a ghost. And then Donald sees that he's a ghost. He starts running into the street. He gets hit by a car, so he also turns into a ghost. And then, but see, the way Donald saw Goofy was because he was like doing all these things, and he never saw Goofy, and Goofy was just playing around with him, like turning off these lights and stuff that Donald had. And the way that he was haunting Goofy was haunting Donald was because they had this game or something where you could pick between 3 people, and Donald was like, I'm not scared of anything. And so that's why he picked on him. So it was kind of funny. And then there was a witch, and there was these kids who were trick-or-treating, and Donald, okay, so it was Huey, Dewey, and Louie were trick-or-treating, and Donald came to the door, and he didn't give them anything, and he instead tricked them. He, like, I can't remember if he poured water or something else on them, and then they were all upset, and so the witch decided to help them out, and basically they ended up with everything in the fridge, with the fruits and stuff, and all kinds of things. It's kind of funny. And then, let's see, there's another, oh right, okay, so I think there might have been one or two more, can't quite remember. Oh yeah, there was one where there was ghosts haunting them, and then the ghosts were doing all these crazy things. There was 3 of them. They had called them, and they were like, they knew they hunted ghosts, and so they were trying to get them to come over to pretty much like scare them to death. And so then Goofy decides, wait, no, it's not Goofy. Well, anyway, all 3 of them go, and they have all these sharp objects to kill these ghosts. And it's like an axe is not going to kill a ghost. They're already dead. And anyway, so they're trying to figure out what to do and stuff. And these ghosts are just like scaring them to death or doing all kinds of things. And then they end up falling into some kind of gooey mess. I don't know if it was flour or what, but they all fall into it. The Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. And then they were like this huge blob, and it looks like a different kind of ghost. And so they all like run out of there because they're scared to death. And let's see, I feel like I'm missing another one, but I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. There was, okay, and then the villains decide to take over this house of mouse, and they kick all the hero characters out, and they have like Jafar as a leader, which me and my sister were so surprised at, because even though he has lots of power, and we didn't really find him very, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, we would have thought that it would have been Hades, because he has all that magic, like, without, what's it called? Without, like, the staff thing that Jafar has. So it's like, it's him, he's magical. And, like, Sonobog, he has a lot of, things to do with him, or even Frollo, because he's, like, but at least in the Disney stuff, but like, it's just, I would not have pictured it to be Jafar. We were like so good, we were like, they picked Jafar. Now that's interesting. It wasn't an awful pick though, because it was just interesting. And so Minnie is very unhappy about this, and so people like, I've never never seen Minnie Mouse this angry. And Mickey was like, I have. And so all these characters are like gone and stuff. What was so weird is even though the villains took over the House of Mouse, right? The villains did not win in any of the things they showed. Because they had, I believe it was Hansel and Gretel. Or maybe that was the hero side. I don't know, but like, I know one story, I don't know if it was the villain side or the hero side, but one of the stories was Hansel and Gretel styled, I guess, where they were like baking treats and stuff, and the witch was wanting to eat the children, but I believe they pushed her in some kind of oven, and then they somehow fell along too. I don't remember what happened after that, but it was like, and then they had, but it looked like the other two people had made it out, and I don't know if she did or not, but it was like, what? I would have thought the villains would have won since the villains took over, but they didn't. It was like, what? The villains hardly ever get to win. If you noticed, if they ever do get to win, they never get to win like the entire thing full. Ever. And I mean never. Except for Once Upon a Time, occasionally, and I really can't really think of anything else. But I mean, it's like the villains don't ever get a whole lot, especially with them all together. It was so unusual. It's like, all these villains are together, all these Disney princesses are together, they're not pretending each other doesn't exist. It's like, oh my gosh, they're not in their separate universes. It's like they're actually together. It's nice. It's like, I like how they're different and all, but you don't have to group them off in their own little section, off of like, they should be able to interact, which is nice about this movie. And anyways, I think, okay, I can't remember, what was the other ones the villains did? It was several different ones they did. I don't remember which side this one was, because it was kind of hard to remember the different sides, because the villain side, it was a little bit darker, but it's like the villains, and even though the villains was in the thing and doing these things, it was like the hero would always win. So there was one, I don't know if this was the part with the trick-or-treating one with the Huey, Dewey, and Louie, but there was three witches, and oh wait, that might have been the hero side, I don't know, but one of them was using a dust mop. Sound familiar? Hocus Pocus? Except she didn't, I don't know if she used a mop. Anyway, and one of them used a broom. Maybe there was two witches. I don't know. But, yeah, they were using different things. And then they would, like, laugh at each other because they would smash into stuff. And then the other one would do it. so interesting. Oh wait, that might have been the trick-or-treating. Anyway, there was so many different stories, and yet it was like, I wanted to see the villains win. I wanted that so badly. Oh well. My sister was like, you probably don't want to scare the kids, and I'm like, it's Halloween. They've shown scarier things. We know Disney has shown scarier things. With Dumbo, with Pinocchio, Bambi, 101 Dalmatians. But yeah. Oh, and the Black Cauldron. And oh yes, they even have the sidekicks of the villains. Oh, that was so cool. It was like, yes, have those sidekicks. And it was nice they even had the sidekicks to the heroes too. I think, yeah, they did. And the way they defeated the villains was they used the genie. We were like, why didn't they use it? And then all of a sudden the genie comes up, we were like, yep, that's what they should have used. And so they were rubbing the lamp and tossing it to each other, and it fixed itself, and the villains were back. I don't know what happened. Not the villains, the heroes were back. And the villains, I don't know what happened to them. I can't even remember. It was like they were gone or something. It's not on Disney Plus, this movie, I believe. It's the white one that I'm thinking of. It's not on Disney Plus. It's not on Hulu. It's not, because they're both combined. It's not on YouTube, because it has little bitty clips. There's no full movie for this. I don't even think it's in the libraries, from what, if I remember correctly. A lot of them anyway. So it's like, this movie is very hard to find. I had to buy it on DVD because I could not physically find it anywhere else. And even if it was in the library, which I probably should have looked first, but a bunch of people would have probably checked it out and taken forever, because I had this one series on hold and I had to wait the entire summer just to get Once Upon a Time series, and it was just like the entire summer for this. This was before I had Disney Plus, but it was like, and it said that Disney Plus doesn't have all Disney movies on there. But anyway, so yeah, I thought it was, and my review is, I think it was actually pretty good. It wasn't quite on the level I was hoping for. And on Instagram and YouTube, they definitely took out the better scenes. So, for like the little tiny clips they showed, like 2-minute clips, 1-minute clip. So it was like, I don't know if it was worth the money I paid for it, but it was still good, and I will keep the movie because it's too hard to find, and it was pretty good. It was just like, I liked it more than the Lilo and Stitch new movie. Yeah. It definitely was interesting. mean, if you can find it through a library, I would definitely watch it. You should definitely watch it. If you can't, I don't know if you would want to pay the price for that. But, because it's high. At least for what I pay for it. At McKay's, it was very, but because it's like nowhere. It's like absolutely nowhere on this face of the earth to find the full 70-minute version? Anyway, bye.